Hello, 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 and welcome back. I am Ben the Bold, and you are watching our Icenia Rises campaign, or maybe I should at this point call it the Icenia Rises and Falls campaign, because we are in the middle of a terrible civil war. As you can see, we are against everything in pink. The Britannic Revolt is a revolt against the rule of the Albion Empire due to poor leadership from both me as well as our emperor at the time, Emperor Luctarius III. We let some loyalty issues get the better of us. We ignored the internal squabbles and instead focused on plowing straight ahead down through Gaul. And, well, we ran into some issues, and now we are paying for it. At this point, we have let the entire mainland Europe fall away from us, and they have all been either taken by or just flat out joined the Britannic Revolt. However, we have made some gains recently. We at one point had retreated all of our forces back to Britain, back to the Albion homeland, and we basically let them steamroll through Europe. But now we have landed armies in Gaul. We are trying to establish a beachhead. You can see I'm actually building fortresses in the land that I am taking. I'm going to try to heavily fortify this area. I'm actually going to go ahead and build another fortress here. I want them to have a difficult time coming back and taking the territory that I am taking. This, I have a feeling, will be a long, drawn-out war of attrition and one that I want to try to win. The upside about where we are is that they currently don't have a ton of manpower, and they're losing a lot of manpower every single month. They do, however, have a lot, and I mean a lot, of cohorts loyal to their armies. With that said, several of them are engaged in a war with Rome at the moment. So we should hopefully have enough time to finish some of these forts. I'm also trying to build a city here so that I can actually add additional fort levels to this territory. I'm going to try to make this all very heavily fortified. So we'll see if this plan works. I am just going to try to basically attack, bite, hold, attack, bite, hold. We'll see how this goes. Let's go ahead and unpause the game. We don't have a ton of time left in this whole campaign. As you can see, it ends in just about 25 years. Well, I guess actually 35 years. We did force their navy to flee port, and it has indeed been sunk. So that is a good step. And then, is this a settlement? Yes, it is. Well, you know what? You also get a fort. I'm still making plenty of money. I can definitely afford these forts. And let's go ahead and just keep on pushing. We have defeated 2 of their armies. We at first were worried that that was going to be a major force that came to attack us, but no, it was only about 40,000 men, so we were able to repel their forces quite easily. It would be nice to start taking back some of the fortifications, though, that we ourselves had to leave when we retreated from mainland Europe. You can kind of tell that this is very much like a Victoria 2. I'm making kind of a front line with troops and pushing in very slowly, but I am worried about where all their soldiers are. We'll have to see how this goes. I want to make sure that they don't get naval superiority because, well, I mean, me being my stronghold on an island, giving up naval superiority could be quite catastrophic. I'm going to go ahead and move another army or 2 to the mainland. I definitely don't want to move all of my armies to the mainland, although I think everyone, especially all the mercenaries, would be fine. I am hiring mercenaries like crazy anytime we see them. Ooh, it looks like you want a new position. Yeah, I'm going to have you wait a little bit longer. Let's also move you down to here. We are lacking governors in these places. I'll go ahead and give her a governorship. And I will give you a governorship, says you are gaining loyalty. I definitely need researchers now, so let's go ahead and get our researchers back. It's going to help with the political influence gain as well. Just want to make sure that I'm hiring people who are relatively loyal to me, even if you are not maybe the best of the researchers that we have. Going to just keep advancing. We did just get a civic advancement. Import value up, that's good. National citizen output, also good. National slave output. So basically all of those are good. I'm going to go ahead and grab them real quick. That actually should help me make quite a bit more money. I'm going to leave these armies where they are for now. In fact, I'm actually going to move this army here so that it can maybe reinforce if they try to come and take, relieve my, basically just relieve this fort. I don't know what I'm trying to say there. Still need another researcher, but I'm going to have to wait on that. Still making plenty of money per turn, plus I have $20,000 in the bank. That should be plenty enough. I'm going to go ahead and load these two armies into our ships, and we are going to go ahead and land them in Caricatinum. I want to keep a close eye on their naval strength. I want to make sure that I am outdoing them on the waves. I am continuing to build. Let's go ahead and build some more Liburnians, and I'll do some triremes, tetraremes, and hexaremes as well. Let's go ahead and just make that a whole other fort. I can see that they are landing troops. That's alright. I actually don't necessarily want to hire anyone to lead these men, so they're actually just going to march around in conjunction with the mercenary forces. Let's go ahead and move them in. Looks like they're actually going to try to land about 10,000 men in our homeland. You know what? To me, that actually works out just fine because the way I see it, that's 10,000 men gone. I am going to go ahead and put Divicacus II in charge of our Grand Armée, and I will march them to where they are trying to land. We have won this siege. That's going to help us start to capture some of their territory a little bit faster. We're just going to keep working our way up along this channel road, I think, with that army. Meanwhile, we will go ahead and start our breakout in Central Gaul. We are trying to form a beachhead. We are actually getting a little bit farther away from our objective. I think I'm going to go ahead and use this army and start to just try to retake some territory over in the Brittany area, and then I will build a bunch of fortifications there as well. In fact, you right now could already use a fort. They do, in fact, land 10,000 men in Britain. However, that is not exactly something I am going to worry too much about, as I am going to do my best to force them out. We are going to lose a fight there, but that's alright. Let's put you on defend borders, maybe. That should, yeah, now you're going to chase down this marauding army. I'm going to go ahead and move my my Grand Army out of here. It doesn't really matter. We're going to get a bunch of money. Perfect. That actually is going to be enough to go ahead and think about hiring some more mercenaries. Let's see if there are any mercenaries anywhere nearby. Recruitable. And go to... Okay, so you're not too far away. I could easily pick you up on some ships. You were right there. You're 21,000. I'll recruit you. You're Black Flag, but I will just have you go ahead and wait a day and march here. They seem to be ready to fight us, so let's go ahead and engage them in with a couple of our armies. Ooh, they actually think that they're going to win that? What? Really? I want to keep my armies relatively well placed. I want to keep them together. There must be another army somewhere. Why would we lose this fight unless they have just a better general? I think maybe they have just a better general. Oh yeah, they have lots of men indeed. Let's go ahead and keep our armies together. We are going to win, and we are actually going to capture. He's the general and a rival of a governor, but he is the head of the Mandoni family. You know what? Here's the way I see it. They rebelled. If I capture them, they're dead to me. Unfortunately, we've been defeated. Oh, but that's just one of our little small armies that has not quite... that was not quite destroyed completely. Looks like they're finally beginning to engage with me. I definitely want to pay close attention to what happens there. I'm going to go ahead and actually retreat these two armies. I want them to take care of these 22,000 men before doing anything else. We are continuing to lose ships at sea. Well, actually, we didn't lose any ship there, so... We have a blockaded port, really? Alright, so our city has been finished, so let's go and take a look at it. We have... Let's go ahead and actually just... I'm going to go ahead and make this the most heavily defended fortress in the world, I think. Of course, that all depends on me having enough time to actually build that. My reasoning may not be necessarily super sound, but I like the idea of just making sure... Ooh, and let's not forget that we need to take this settlement as well, the settlement of Endymion. My reasoning for creating this fort is so that hopefully I will always have a beachhead here in northern Gaul, although I will admit my fight so far has been to retake this land has gone off without a hitch. We are going to engage here. We are actually going to win a fight against a 0 general. Oh, up there, yeah. Let us keep that going. We are defeated once again, but neither of us lost a ship. You know what? It might be time for one of our navies. Let's say hunt fleets. What are you doing? Let's have you... Maybe also, I guess, hunt fleets. We are victorious. We have destroyed that army of 10,000 men. That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt them. That's for sure. They now only have 4,000 or 402 cohorts. They started out this war with about 406. So we are beating them back. We are whittling them down. We are gaining momentum. Obviously, though, this is going to be quite the fight. This might be the kind of late game boss that I was looking for. I was hoping that Rome would be it, but instead we're going to have to concentrate hard on just, well, retaking the territory that was once ours. They, unfortunately, are actually going to gain a ship. We definitely don't want that to happen. We don't want us to be giving them ships. We are victorious here. It's perfect. That's going to allow us to retreat with impunity. Let's go ahead and move this army around. I'm getting a little bit worried about how many forces I'm seeing mass over in the... What kind of this... I guess this is kind of the Normandy area, right? No, that's... Yeah. So I guess I need to probably bring some troops back. Although first I'm going to go ahead and build another fortress. We have a new trade route. Let's go ahead and look at it. We're doing okay on food. I think I'm going to go ahead and get one more thing of veggies, though. No, not veggies. Let's instead do fish, national freeman happiness, or do we want pop promotion speed? At this point, I want national freeman happiness. I think with all the troops that they are moving towards our territory, it might be wise to go ahead, take you off of search for other ships, and go ahead and have you bring on one more... Oh, no longer importing fish. Looks like we are going to lose this fight unless we move in all of our forces. You know what? I'm going to wait until we're movement locked. I think we can hold them until they're movement locked. Alright, this army's movement locked. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Yeah, that's going to give us the green tick. We are going to take... We have poor morale at first, but our troops are going to get there. We should be able to do just a massive amount of damage to them. Yeah, look at how many men they're losing per month. We are victorious at sea. We have taken one of their ships, or destroyed one of their ships. We need that. 80,000 men against 2,000. They lost a huge number of men. They lost over 10,000 men in that fight. What a trap we have laid. You, in fact, deserve Yeah, you deserve, oh, you're some mercenaries, but you deserve a reward. I would love to give you something, like a triumph, but alas, that is not for you. You are just a mere humble mercenary. We won another fight. Okay, I didn't even realize we were fighting, but cool. And yeah, we're actually having a lot of success so far. I'm going to go ahead and move these 21,000 men from Albion proper over. We have taken this other port. I'm actually just going to go to fort level 4 here. There's no reason to go to 5, I don't think. Unfortunately, we are going to take another defeat at sea. I actually really like how I cannot sue for peace. It is a fight to the death. One side must win, one side will win, one side will lose. And as long as I control what I'm calling the Icenia channel, I am not necessarily worried about losing. Now, one problem that I have with these large armies that I've made is that a lot of them are horse archers, but I currently cannot reinforce horse archers to my armies because I don't control any more provinces with steppe horses. Which, I will admit, I actually love that about this game. Like, it makes sense. I shouldn't be able to reinforce my troops if I'm no longer getting, like, elephants or steppe horses. So, I'm liking that. I do, however, wish I could let's maybe import fish from somewhere else. How about Caledonia? Cool. I do, however, I'm definitely going to miss having those steppe horses. Let's see, where are you going? Yeah, so let's go ahead and have that fleet take care. I would love to trap their whole fleet at sea, sink their whole fleet. So I'm currently losing men. Ooh, I'm going to lose a lot of men if I'm not careful. I have 19,000 men. Let's go see if we can join in this fight. Does not look like we're going to be able to get there in time. I'll go ahead and throw all my forces in at it. We unfortunately are not going to make it in time. It doesn't appear so, at least. Or indeed, maybe we actually did. We are victorious. Let's go to it. Yes, that is us. We lost 8,000 men. They lost 16,000. These are the kind of things we want to see. And they're going to move in this army of 0, and we are easily going to take that out. So, that was a good little fight, and let's take a look at their manpower situation. They still just don't have the manpower we have. They are losing men. They are now losing money, so who knows? Maybe this this little ragtag group of Albion mercenaries will take care of business. I'm going to go ahead and keep trying to take the coast of Brittany. We have an abundant product. All right, the provincial officials of Ibrivica report that the district has seen an unprecedented harvest this year with great jubilation for their Rosmerta. All right, so, all right, I definitely want to give her extra loyalty. Yeah, definitely. Still need a religious person. You work, because you actually like me a little bit. Our legitimacy is ticking down, unfortunately, but it's not ticking down by enough to make me really worried about it at the moment. Mostly it's ticking down because of high support for pretenders, so we should check that out when we get a chance. Yeah, so like, who is supporting you? Can I see that? Oh well. We'll figure it out. Plus, I'm not really worried about legitimacy ticking down by 0.1. I can also increase legitimacy. Basically, this is going to, for 5 years, give me ticking 0.02, but also monthly tyranny, which tyranny I'm not super worried about. Right now, it's ticking down at 0.04, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, cool. I want to go ahead and separate these armies while I can. This general right here scares me a little bit. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and disperse these armies every which direction. Alright, so our first fortress has been built, so this is going to be a little bit harder to take now. Perfect. Now I'm going to bring this army of mercenaries to the forefront. How am I doing on money? Still good. I'm again not above hiring more mercenaries. Definitely not above hiring more mercenaries. Especially since they currently can't afford mercenaries. Looks like they maybe had taken some mercenaries. Yeah, they're just... Okay, so now they're getting 62 gold per turn, so that's... Woo! That's a lot. So they actually are out-moneying me at the moment. How much money am I making per turn? 57. It's alright. We can do this. We also, thankfully, have about 200,000 more men in the bank than they do. I said I was nervous about this army. Ooh, I'm not nervous about... Alright, I'm nervous about that. Can I get out of here? No. Alright, so... They're already at half morale. You know what? No time like the present. Let's see if we can fight them off. I have a feeling that this could be a loss. Before my men even get a chance to get there, and it was! Oh, and we lost almost twice as many as they did. You are such a great commander. Well, we're gonna have to fight this at this point. They're gonna move more men in, we're gonna move more men in. This is gonna be a close one. A close and hard-fought battle. We are currently losing. I think we're going to lose this. Alright, that influx of troops definitely helps. They are losing so many more men than we are. But it's still just going to be difficult. I think we're going to take about half the casualties they do. With that said, I do still think we're going to lose this fight, especially with those extra 17,000 men coming in. I want to make this an ordered retreat. I want to retreat. Let's go right past one of our forts. Because I don't want them to chase me too far. So let's just go there. We lost about 30,000 men. They lost almost 50,000. So that was definitely a major setback. It's definitely going to hurt us. Let's take a look at how we are doing, by the way. They have 363 cohorts with a manpower of approximately 1,200. They are, I guess, getting, yeah, 1,900. Yeah, so that's just one month's amount of manpower. They are, however, starting to bank a lot of money. Let's go ahead and I think hire some more mercenaries just so that they don't. So I'm going to go ahead and take these 21,000. They are black flagged. And because they're black flagged, I'm actually going to come and have them... I don't necessarily want to have them just walk to our territory. So instead, I'm going to pick them up on some boats. Let's have you guys just keep doing what you're doing. Let's keep building these forts. Let's just keep on keeping on. I like the plans that we are making. Let's go ahead and just do a general retreat. It's okay. Retreating is not necessarily bad. What is bad is if we lose some of the major forts we have accomplished. We're going to get a martial advancement. That's going to be helpful. I'm not sure if that also gives the rebellion a martial advancement, or I guess they are now at this point a completely separate country, so they are teching up completely separate than me. I'm going to go ahead and I think take some of those inventions. I definitely have the money to do so. So let's go ahead and get fort defenses, especially because right now I'm kind of banking on the fact that my forts are going to be kind of sturdy. With that said, in the next update of the game, which comes out in just a few days on December 3rd, well, actually, we'll see when I get around to posting this video up on YouTube, but currently it's December 1st. Maybe I will post it up on YouTube on the 3rd, or maybe even after the 3rd, but this is not the Livy update of the game. This is the Cicero update, and with the Livy update, I'm really excited to see how fort sieges are handled, because the way I see it, with the absolutely massive amount of attrition that you could get from just sitting on a fort without supply wagons, or after your supply wagons are depleted, well, you could actually not just not take the fort super quickly, but you could, in fact, maybe even lose your fort. And I think that that's something that really Paradox games, or not lose your fort, lose your whole army. And I think that's something Paradox games have kind of been lacking. The fact that I could just sit on a fort, and as long as I'm patient enough, and, you know, I can pretty much take it, with the exception of sometimes if you stack, like, attrition modifiers in Russia games in EU3, or EU4, you can sometimes, you know, bleed the enemies dry. But that's not necessarily something that happens all the time in Paradox games, whereas I really think that there's kind of a chance for that, hopefully soon, in the Livy update of the game. We'll have to see how that goes, though. I'm going to go ahead and pull all my armies back behind these fortifications. This is the whole reason I put the forts in the way that I did. Let's go ahead. Let's actually move our Grand Army to the port of Branodunum, and let's find our navies, because we actually might be using our navies relatively soon to transport this huge army across the sea. In the meantime, you are going to come and place those mercenaries there here in Hesselum. Actually, no, we'll have you place them in Branodunum. I'm okay if they take this fort. I'm okay with that. Probably should have put the fort in the forest, but that's alright. Let me go ahead and hire these mercenaries, because why not? Let's go ahead and unblack flag them. Tell you what, I need this fortress to finish. Again, I know that they are taking land kind of at will, but I'm going to bank on the fact that I can relieve the forts. We'll see, though. Alright, so I could get 10 popularity with my Emperor. That would be good, but I would lose a lot of loyalty from one of my big generals. That would be bad. I could spend a bunch of money, although I have just an insane amount of money right now. I would gain some corruption, but they would become more loyal. So yeah, I think that is what I want to do. Invite her to a banquet. Again, I'm okay. How long until this fortress is built? October 13th, so as long as we can hold on until October 13th. Alright, so someone's civil war has ended. Unfortunately, it is not mine. Mine is still very much in play. Let's get ready to retreat. You guys, where are my navies? Let's bring you to here and just get you ready. Meanwhile, I'm going to take this army of 24,000. Unfortunately, they do have a lot of horse archers, which unfortunately will not reinforce, but for now I'm going to be okay with that. And let's go ahead and just bring you and plant you here in the city of Coriolanum. Coriolanum is almost done. Well, it's almost halfway done with its next fort level. Come on, October 13th can't get here fast enough to grab this second fort. Or really, I guess it's the third fort. Alright, that fortress has been built, so let's go ahead and retreat behind that fortress. Meanwhile, this fleet will come and actually pick up these mercenaries. I'm going to go ahead and hire these. Well, let's take a look at the economy situation. Alright, the economy's looking good. I'm going to go ahead and hire these mercenaries too. After all, what's the point of having a large economy if you can't spend it on overwhelming firepower? So this fort, it's in the woods. It's also just a fort level 1. I only have 100 men on it. Oh, because it's just been finished. But you know what? I think we can bleed for this fort. We will have the defender's advantage if we attack it now. This could be a devastating idea, but we will have to see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and move these 21,000 men onto those boats. Okay, I have a feeling that they are done with their war. They are, so they're fighting you. Who are you? Alright, so you are no one. Oh my gosh, you're just one province. Okay. So we're fighting against all of their troops at this point. So here's where my fortification strategy really comes into play. I would have liked to have gotten a better ring of forts. That's on me. But we are going to try, and again, they don't have the manpower necessarily to relieve all these armies very quickly. Of course, at this point, neither do we. Well, I mean, no, we have 194,000 men, and so many of our men are mercenaries, whereas I don't think that they are heavily relying on mercenaries as of yet. I wish there was like a total forces button. We can see how many enemies have lost, but not just how many men are in the fight. Like, this is good. And remember, they started out with like 100 and something thousand light infantry, if I remember correctly. So they've definitely taken some losses. Definitely taken some losses. We vastly outnumber them in chariots, heavy cavalry, heavy infantry. They have more horse archers, but only by a few. They have more light cav. They have a lot more. All right, so I would say that we're actually fairly even in force projection. We should, I guess they also get our military traditions, but we should be in good shape military tradition-wise. Because our archers, we get better archer offense. I believe we get some bonuses in the woods as well. Yeah, archer forest combat bonus plus light infantry. Although we don't have a ton of light infantry, so we'll see what happens here. We're going to fight them in the forests. Immediately, they are going to use the shock action. You are definitely going to be my best general. So let's go ahead and have you change from shock action to something that's good against it. How about bottleneck? Bottleneck, unfortunately, is probably the best thing we got. They're going to do a massive amount of damage. We just need to get our men there in time. Indeed, they are going to arrive. And we have 109,000 more of them coming in. So this is where our strategy of onwards to glory. Good job. They lost 26,000 men. They lost a full 16,000 more men than we did. And I am not afraid to bleed them dry. Well, at least I'm not afraid to try. Let's go ahead and bring you, this army, into the, at this point, pretty well fortified city of Corleone. And let's keep going. So I don't see a reason. Oh, it looks like they're going to move these 16,000 men and won't be able to stop that. We're going to take a absolute huge amount of attrition here, I believe. But we are very easily going to handle. Ooh, we are going to completely stack wipe them. They lost all 16,222 of their troops. That right there was a victory. We lost about 1,000 men, so that was huge. We also captured a prisoner. She's the general and a friend of the governor of Armorica. She's the head of the Britannic Elitovi family, or Elitovi family. She's 48 years old, and you know what I do with people that I've captured in this war? They unfortunately must be executed. They cannot rebel against me. That is their punishment for rebelling. Let's once again, I think, go ahead and retreat back. I think it's a good strategy just to go ahead and retreat back to kind of the safe area that we have. lined up for us. And meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and use this navy to come and pick up these mercenaries. We're still looking good as far as money goes. We are relying a lot on mercenaries, so I'm feeling pretty good about this. I finally have enough ships in this navy. Oh, this is a different navy, I guess. You were here now. Oh, good for you, I guess. Let's go ahead and put this navy on search and destroy, or hunt fleets. And let's check out how this war is going. They now only have 292 cohorts, still just 0 manpower practically. They do gain about as many men per month as we do though, so they're losing. The thing is though, we have 200,000 men to play with, whereas they don't. They are now also at war with Carthage. Hopefully Carthage will actually land in the south. I know that this land should be mine, but I will go ahead and gladly give some of it to Carthage if that means a better, easier victory for me on in mainland Gaul, especially here in the northern coast. This is very much, I mean, this is fun. I'm having a really good time. I hope you're having a good time watching it. And unfortunately, that's about where I'm going to have to call it quits for the day. If you are having a good time watching it, go ahead and hit that like button. Also, hey, hit that subscribe button. You might as well. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see Carthage try to take some of their land. Obviously, I don't have much of a say in that. But I promise I will not surrender to this Britannic revolt. We will reclaim our land, or at least end the campaign trying. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you, as they say, on the next one.